What's going on, everyone? NoleJP here. How are you all doing today? Hopefully you've been having a great weekend. Mine was pretty good. I'm a little under the weather, but I did get to go watch some college football yesterday in Tallahassee for the Florida State-Clemson game, which didn't turn out how I had liked for my team, but it was a good game nonetheless. It's all about having fun with your friends, and that's exactly what I did. What I have for you guys today is my first Call of Duty Infinite Warfare video featuring some gameplay. I chose not to put up videos during the beta because everyone was just flooding YouTube with random gameplays and various commentaries, so I decided to wait a week and let things cool down. In the background is a pretty competitive game of Dom on Terminal, which I did pretty well on, so hopefully you guys enjoy that. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you're new. I really appreciate the support. As far as what we're going to talk about today, it's going to be a two-part video. I wanted to finally give some of my honest thoughts about the game from the beta, as well as talk about Infinity Ward finally listening to the community and actually confirming information to us, which is a big shocker that they would do something like that, so let's hop right into it. First, let's talk about the beta for a minute. I played the beta, obviously, and like many others, there was some things I liked, but there was a lot of things I did not like. The dislikes definitely outweighed the likes, and it really made me question whether or not I was going to want to play COD this year. Let me first start off with some good things. Coming off of Infinity Ward's last title, which was Ghost, I was already fearful at what types of maps we would get, but was surprised to see that they gave us 5 medium-sized maps, including Terminal, which was on the second weekend. I also thought that the gun selection was pretty good, that they gave us a variety of each gun in the category to test out in the beta, but I found myself only really playing with 2 guns. The reason for that is the NV4 and the FHR sub machine gun were the only 2 that had nuke kill streaks on it for the guns that I like. Having the ability to go for nukes again is something I always look forward to with Infinity Ward games. It's a great achievement if you get it. And apparently with the way that they've built this game, I don't think there's going to be that many of them unless you're really a top-notch player, have a lot of map knowledge, and throw a little bit of luck in there. A lot of the people still wanting boots on the ground game, and I would not be opposed to that in the next COD. However, there still has to be a balance of fast-paced gameplay if you're putting boots on the ground. So I really don't mind the wall running and boost jumps, to be honest with you. I'm happy that they did put a limit on how much you can boost jump and not allow you to be spamming it like you did back in Advanced Warfare. The other good thing about this game is that it has potential. Now, I say this is a good thing because there were so many bad things with the beta that it can only get better. So let me mention a few things that I saw that were just outright bad or needed some serious review and improvement. And stay tuned right after this section. I'm going to cover the Infinity War comments from this weekend that may change my outlook for the game as well as yours. For the bad, I don't know why, but the game felt a little clunky with game engines these days, and especially with the 3-year time span that they had to produce this game, I would have expected a little bit more fluidity to the game. I'm not sure why COD continues to sit on old engines. If you've got a chance to play the new Titanfall 2 game, the engine they use in that game is amazing, and it's very, very fluid. Everyone wants COD to go to the next level and be very smooth, but I don't know why they continue to use old graphics. It just seemed like the game was a couple years behind. And as far as guns go, I mentioned that it is a good thing that there was a good variety. However, when you only give 1 gun per category that carries the nuke feature, all you're going to get is games where everyone plays with the same guns over and over and over again. This, in my opinion, is not good for the game. I don't want to have to use the FHR sub. I actually like the Karma a lot better, but because I can't get the nuke on the Karma, I have to find a way to use the FHR, which I really don't like. An easy way to fix this, take the nuke feature off these guns that are carrying the nuke feature and just make it a 25 kill gun requirement for the whole game. Bam, issue solved. I don't know what's so hard about that. What I don't get is why they overthink things. A staple of their franchise for so many years was the nuke, and this year, let's put it only on one gun per category. Like, who's coming up with these ideas, and better yet, who's approving them? I'm not going to talk about variants too much, because there is just too much to talk about with that, and I'll have to save that for another video when we can really go through it. But we'll leave it at variants have a lot of work to be done. Next, time to kill. This one, you guys have heard it. You've heard it a lot. It's too quick. There's no chance to make a player escape if you're being shot at. They should have called this game I shot first, but I die first, because that's what it really felt like when I was playing the games. Along with this, they showed you who killed you and by how many hits. What I don't like is that basically no matter what gun the other person is using, it's 4 hits to kill. You could be using the weakest gun in the category, and it has the same stopping power as a 4-hit gun that's at the top of the category. It was really strange. Look at Black Ops 3. You could hit 4 bullets on someone with the M8, but it was built to be a 4-round burst kill, and everyone knew it was that gun that was a 4-round burst kill. I felt like there was no way to plan around what person you were taking on, because they could have any number of guns in their hand and everyone killed at the same rate. Speaking of guns, and the hottest topic out of the beta was sniping. So overpowered in my opinion with the aim assist and the quick scoping. It was just absolutely ridiculous. You knew right well that the developers who put out the beta, and they had someone from their production team that was just fapping themselves silly, knowing that they got quick scoping in the game with aim assist. You had players floating through the air with boost jumps, getting sniper double kills. It was just out of control that something like that could be put into the game. I also didn't care for the rigs. They just create an imbalance. You have a rig with a golden gun that just melts you, which is so OP because you can't tell what the other person is carrying in their hands. And if you really want to get into a gunfight, you might have the step on someone or outplay someone only to be melted just because that person's carrying a one-shot gun. Mechanical dogs, or whatever you want to call them, also were very fast movement. It was hard to keep up with them. I just think they could have done without them in this game. There's really no need for those things. And the final thing that irked me was the matchmaking and getting thrown into games that were a few points from being over. It's like this year after year, and I think it gets people more upset because they have to instant quit and get dinged on their stats because the developer put this feature in the game, and it's not necessarily that the player played a bad game. I honestly didn't play the beta more than a few times the second weekend because it was just unbearable. I couldn't put down the Black Ops 3 beta when we had it last year, but this one was very easy to put down during the second weekend. I really didn't play it too much on the second weekend. On a brighter note, for what seems like the first time in the history of the COD game for Infinity Ward, they've appeared to now have actually listened to the community and have issued comments about changes that we will see on release day. Now, I'll be honest with you and say that I really have no interest in picking up Infinite Warfare on release date, if ever, based on how the beta went, but with these new adjustments, I might, and might being the key word. The fact that Infinity Ward went to an open beta the second weekend just screamed that they were in trouble. Codes being handed out left and right, and an invite for anyone to play just says that they're having sales problems and needed to let anyone on the game that they could possibly get. But here's what we've learned and might change some of your minds. I'm happy that Infinity Ward is making changes before the release and telling us about it. I think this was the smartest thing that they've done so far with the game, because I think that they were losing everyone, but this might be a way to save some people. So I'll just read through some of the sections and talk a little bit about them just to give you an idea. So we'll start with modes. Just a couple of the highlights here. Gun game, they're now going to feature all classic weapons. In future updates, weapons with alternate functions will retain their state upon spawn. That's really good that you'll get to play with the classic weapons. Gun game's always fun. And in Domination, they also told us that when you step off a flag, the current capture bar progress starts to decay. The rate of decay has been halved from the beta. This basically means that you're going to be allowed to bounce off the flag to keep yourself alive if somebody's trying to attack you, and then get back on the flag without losing your entire progress. That is a big, big step. Matchmaking, they went over various things about dead lobbies, incorrect geographical locations, things that really cause you to have a high ping rate, to other people that you're playing. The closer people are to you, the better your gameplay is going to be, so it looks like they cleaned that up as well. As far as score streaks go, they increased some health, bullet damage, and weapon accuracy with the AP3X. The RC8 also got a health increase, increased weapon accuracy with help with target acquisition, slight increased fire rates, and slight damage increase on splash damage. They sped up the Thor rockets and increased damage, both tracking and straight fire rockets. Bombardment, they cleaned up a little bit, decreasing in both time to kill in the initial drop and in time in between subsequent drops. And they also updated the area of damage consistent to inner and outer. Rigs, they also did refining with payload balance, slight tweaks, gameplay across rigs. So that, we'll have to see how that changes once the game actually comes out. For perk and rig traits, the marksman, they said that they fixed a bug where, in addition to reducing flinch, it was also reducing recoil. This would mean then, stacked with gun perks and foregrip attachment, the bonus reduction has been removed. That's pretty good. The marksman's a pretty key item, so I'm glad they took a look at that. momentum. They fixed an issue with speed not being retained, and mark target, the temporary red marker on the victim, has been toned down. That's also really nice as well. I didn't really think they needed all that. As far as economy, they are telling us that they increase salvage gain in mission teams, they change currency value in supply drops, and then they also increase the drop rate of keys in round-based game modes. That's really good as well. If they're going to put care pack or drops in the game, then you have to allow everybody to get at them pretty quick. As far as time to kill, these next three are the biggest ones. I'll just read this verbatim to you. We know a lot of you have had different experiences with time to kill during the beta. With the above adjustments, the dedicated servers, matchmaking, and weapon tuning, we think you'll find that the time to kill will be more balanced at launch, both on the attacking and receiving end. We'll continue to monitor and balance throughout the year as needed, and would love your feedback in the process. We're always looking at time to kill, and we'll continue to balance and monitor. That's actually good that they're going to be making an adjustment to that. That's one of the biggest things that came out of the beta, so kudos to them. And then as far as weapons, they've taken away the aim assist for snipers. I'm not going to go through the whole list because there are a whole lot of them, but aim assist was the big one. That is going to make things a lot more difficult for snipers. They're not going to get the aim assist until the gun is all the way up to their eye, which is great. Quick scoping will not be an aim assist item anymore. That probably is going to make snipers cry and not be able to play the game anymore, or whatever they want to do with it, but it's something that was just overpowered in the beta, and for the good of the game, I'm glad they took a look at that and found a way to turn it down. It's just going to make an overall more enjoyable game experience. It might bring some people back that were already a little bit against the game. And then as far as the last item, which is health regen and spawning, they said health regen time has been reduced, infusion bonus reduced, continuing to refund spawn systems on the beta maps, and they will assess the remaining launch maps in the live environment. This is good. Health regen time has been reduced. That is giving us a little bit better sense that it will kind of help out with the time to kill. They go hand in hand. It'll make things a lot easier for everyone who's playing the game to have a little bit more opportunity to stay alive instead of just getting 4-bulleted and, you know, laying around like a dead person. So, but I'm sure we're going to see a lot more. I'm happy that they came out with all this right from the start. It's a very good first step, and you know, it might be worth checking out the game. So with that, guys, thanks for dropping by and checking out this commentary and gameplay. Hopefully these changes will let you make a more informed decision about what you want to do with your gaming for the upcoming future. The tough thing is that with other games out there that now want to take down COD, I think this game will absolutely have to step up their game and really listen to community throughout the year. Not just initially, but on a constant basis to keep the community informed. So subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed the video, and keep checking back as I will have tons of more info and gameplays for you guys as we go through the coming year. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you on my next video.
I have identified an enemy UAV in your vicinity. Securing B. Enemy UAV in your vicinity. Brilliant. Submitting mission data to headquarters.